James Little took his case to the appellate court and said that he was sentenced improperly outside of the 1984 sentencing guideline structure, where a petty misdemeanor must be resolved with a maximum of 6 months in jail or a maximum of 6 months probation, and there is no combination effort of those two to be used. So after serving months in a prison and then being on probation for well over a year, his case finally hits the appellate. He's ordered to be resentenced, and what does the judge do? The judge stomps the jackboot of tyranny right back on James Little's neck and sends a message to the rest of the January 6 defendants who had their cases resolved with a Class B misdemeanor. Don't show up here to be resentenced, because what did they do? They sent Mr. Little back to prison. So he had already served a prison term. He had already served a probation term well beyond the 6 months. The pretrial monitoring that Mr. Little had to go through, like everyone else, when on pretrial and being monitored by the government for quite some time before, a year or 2 years before. So then you experience that. But this is how the judge chose to resolve his case. It was a message sent, just like they do with everything else.
Mr. Evans, you've already served time for January 6th, is that correct?
Yes, the government was kind enough to provide me a federal prison stay for demonstrations.
Did you be clear, did you burn down the Capitol on January 6th?
No, I actually would have been better off if I were an Antifa protester that would have burned $34,000 worth of federal property that was sentenced on the same day as me, who assaulted an officer and while on pretrial release, assaulted another officer and a civilian, and who got just probation and a small fine and went home.
You would have had a 95% chance of having your charges dropped, correct?
Yeah,
yes.
That's correct.
Did you assault anyone on January 6th?
Only the fabric of democracy, I hear.
Thank you. God bless you for your humor.
So you may have concluded correctly that virtually everything you have heard, he screamed at you for 3 years about January 6th, is a lie. Joining us now is David Sumrall. He's one of the producers of this documentary, and we're very glad to have him join us. David, thanks so much for coming on. So you've been involved in trying to figure out what happened that day for the last 3 years, and you did this amazing public service for the rest of us by putting together this documentary. Tell us some of the things that you learned from this.
Well, I think it's the things we didn't learn from anybody else. The Select Committee had every opportunity with all the evidence to put a documentary out that showed what happened that day. But the discovery in this video, I think the public really needs to see it.